Oh, hi there. Are you tired of normal Rocket League? Are you ready to spice things up with some good ol' RNG? Well, guess what? Rumble is the perfect place for you. Rumble is like standard Rocket League, but with the added twist of random power-ups every 10 seconds. But what do these power-ups do, you may be wondering? Well, let's launch right into it. Kicking things off first, we have the boot. You ever feel like kicking your teammate out of pure rage? Well, the boot can't fix that problem, but it can certainly remove your opponents. To use it, just drive up to some guy you don't like and watch him sail. What a loser. Up on deck, we have the Disruptor. Most people think of unlimited boost as a gift. The Disruptor is not like most people. Also, the Disruptor is not a person, but the Disruptor is a fantastic method for removing your opponents, all while making them look silly. Chilling out next is the Freezer. Sometimes I wish I could freeze time. The Freezer does not fix that problem, but it fixes the 99 other ones you may have. No matter how fast the ball may be, it is not too fast for the Freezer to stop cold. Swinging on in, we have the grappling hook. I've always been a fan of Batman and his gadgets, and there's nothing more surprising than his grappling hook. Catch your opponents off guard with your sudden immaculate aerial ability, and just like Batman, you never miss. And in the red corner, weighing in at approximately pure domination, we have the Haymaker. Do you ever feel like you just can't score? Like you just can't hit the target? Well, look no further. We have the solution for you. Just put the ball between you and the goal and say GG. Joining in, we have the Magnetizer. Imagine being a planet. Imagine being a planet with a massive moon orbiting around you. Imagine picking up that moon and pulling it into a net so it explodes. Profit. Flushing out the competition, we have the Plunger. Ready to throw your opponents into the gutter? Start with destroying their hopes and dreams of winning. It works every time. No, I'm serious. Every single time. Next up, 2 words. Power hitter. What does it do? Boom. Pow. Crack. Slam. And bam. Aside from that, it encourages you to yell as you hit the ball. Stick around because next up we have the Spike. Does it pop the ball? Gee, I sure hope not. But it will certainly inflate your own ego as you break all axles in your path. Just remember not to get too fancy. Switching things up is the Swapper. Wondering if you're still in Kansas anymore? Well, you're probably not if you just use the Swapper. And it's very likely that your opponent is in Kansas and he's not happy. Just understand that clicking your red shoes won't make you go home. Flying in next is the Tornado. Chaos.
That's better. Now that you know what all the power-ups do, it's time to figure out which one is best. In order to figure out which power-up is best, I thought it would be best to ask the best players what is best. Oh god, that's an awful sentence. Anyway, to answer this question, I first interviewed my friend Wiliford. Wiliford got GC in Rumble, then got top 100, then got top 30, and now I have no idea where he is, but he's good. In addition to the interview with Wiliford, I asked a bunch of high-level Rumble players to rank every power-up from 1 to 11. We will get to that later in the video, but for now, let's dive into the interview. So Will, what is your favorite power-up?
So, my favorite power-up is actually a bit unconventional. That would be the magnet.
Ooh.
So, the reason I say that is because I don't like the spikes very much. And magnet, for me, is just a more balanced version of the spikes. With magnet, if you are able to control it, that's when you've earned the right to dominate your opponents.
What is your least favorite power-up?
Alright, everybody, on 3. 1, 2, 3, Disruptor!
Oh god.
Dude, no one likes the Disruptor. Let's be real.
What do you hate about it, or what do you not like about it?
In most of the situations that I've seen, it actually helps the other team more than it helps you. It basically helps the attacker, and there are very few situations where I think it's very useful. I think I can speak for everyone watching this that the Disruptor is the worst power-up.
Which power-up is best for scoring?
Ooh, for scoring. I think I would have to go with the spikes. Just because there's nothing really that people can do against them if they don't have a power-up already to counter them. As long as you have decent car control, not even decent car control, as long as you can move your joystick, you're probably going to score with the spikes.
Alright, so last question. If you could choose to have one power-up for all situations, which one would you choose?
That's a really tough one. I'd probably say the plunger. It's the other overpowered power-up. When someone has spikes, you can easily just drive behind them and pull them with the plunger and they won't be able to go anywhere. Plunger can be used on defense, and offensively, it's a powerhouse. So I'd say the best overall power-up would probably be the plunger.
Thank you, Will, for taking the time to interview.
Yeah, of course. Now I'll never talk to you again.
No, why? Moving on. As I mentioned earlier, I asked some of the best Rumble players in the world to rank each power-up 1 through 11. Here are some of the results, and a few interesting patterns I noticed. I found it interesting that everyone ranked the Plunger as the second best power-up. Everyone ranked Haymaker as number 1, except for Wiliford, who ranked it as number 3. And the Swapper and Disruptor were in the bottom 3 of every single ranked list.
That's what they get for being bad.
Okay. Sorry about that. I also asked each player to give reasoning on why they ranked each power-up where they did. Generally, the better the rank of a power-up, the better it is to save that power-up, unless you have a clear chance to score. Keeping the good power-ups for defense or for any time when it must be used is the best way to win. As for the lower ranked power-ups, it's better to use those immediately so you have a higher chance of getting the good power-ups. But what makes a power-up good? Let's take the Haymaker for example. Everyone loves the Haymaker. From the looks of it, everyone loves the Haymaker for its versatility on the field. Meetra says it's perfect for basically any scenario. Jay says the Haymaker should only be used to directly score a goal, or to save something that has a high probability of being a goal for the opponents. Tybu says it's used for unexpected goals, useful for offense and defense. SC Galaxy says almost no drawbacks, excellent offensively and defensively. And it is the lack of versatility that people do not like in the Disruptor. Meetra says, most of the time this isn't very useful and just a waste unless in specific situations. ERG states that it should be wasted as soon as you can. Wiliford claims that it's not very useful and most of the time it can actually work against you and your team. Tybu says, in general, not used for much except making your opponents whiff. SC Galaxy claims, yeah, this one has limited uses. It is best to use it immediately to get your next item. Overall, the average rankings look like this. I was not surprised to find that the Haymaker and the Plunger are the 2 best power-ups by far. However, I was surprised by how close it was between the Grappling Hook, Magnetizer, Freezer, and Spike. Those 4 power-ups are within 0.7 overall rankings of each other, which is way closer than I thought it would be. And the remaining power-ups are very solidified in their respective ranks.
Honestly, this is kind of what I was sort of expecting. Obviously, Haymaker's at the top because it's super useful. It can be useful in any situation. Overall, I think Magnetizer is just a great power-up. I really like it. That doesn't mean everyone else necessarily does.
Do you agree with the top 3?
Yeah, I agree with the top 3.
Well, there you have it. Haymaker is the best power-up because, with enough opinions, you get a fact. Please don't quote me on that. Special thanks to Meetra, Jay, Elhon, ERG, Bopper, Tybu, Wiliford, and SC Galaxy for helping me out with this video. Not only were they all very cool, but they were also very helpful and I could not have made this video without them. Also, go check out SC Galaxy's channel. Let's get him 200k subs. Woo! And now, with this newfound knowledge, you'll be able to tell if Psyonix actually favors the other team. Bye-bye!